Most mythical creatures are warnings. If you see them, something has already gone wrong. But a few rare beings in legend meant the opposite. Their appearance wasn't a curse, it was a sign that the world, your fate, or even your life was about to change for the better. Today, we're ranking 10 mythical beasts from the ones you would want to see to the one you would pray appears when you need it most. There was once a spotless white bird brought to the bedside of the dying, and the only thing that mattered was which way it turned its head. In Roman lore, this bird was placed beside those gravely ill. It did not heal, speak, or move with purpose. Instead, everyone watched its gaze. If the bird faced the patient, recovery was expected. If it turned away and refused to look at them, death was believed to be certain. The bird was not choosing, it was revealing what fate had already decided. No specific species is ever named. It is described only as a perfectly white bird, and that purity is the key to its meaning. When it looked upon someone who would survive, it was believed to draw the illness out of their body into itself. Then it would fly toward the sun, where the sickness would be burned away by its light. The cure was not treatment, but purification. People hoped the bird would face them because its gaze was seen as a living omen. It did not predict survival through effort or medicine. It exposed the invisible line between life and death. In Roman and later bestiary tradition, this bird symbolized purity, fate, and the unsettling belief that some outcomes were decided long before humans could intervene. But not every guardian appears when you're dying. Some stand watch long before danger ever arrives, carved in stone, waiting at the edge of entire cities. What if the figure guarding a city's gate wasn't a god to worship, but a silent guardian placed there to keep curses, chaos, and evil from ever crossing the threshold? In ancient Assyria and Mesopotamia, that guardian was the Lamassu, a protective spirit carved into massive stone and placed at the entrances of cities, temples, and royal palaces. It didn't protect people, it protected places. Passing beneath a Lamassu meant you were stepping into a space believed to be spiritually defended, sealed off from misfortune and malevolent forces. The Lamassu is a composite being, the body of a bull or lion, the wings of an eagle, and the head of a human crowned with divine authority. Strength, intelligence, power. Every part of it was symbolic. The name comes from Akkadian tradition, referring to a protective spirit with a male counterpart known as a shaidu. These beings were not gods, and they were not worshipped, but they were believed to possess real apotropaic power, the ability to ward off evil simply by being there. And then there's the detail most people miss. Lamassu statues were carved with 5 legs. From the front, it stands perfectly still. From the side, it appears to be walking forward. This wasn't a mistake, it was a message. The guardian is both at rest and in motion, always watching, always advancing, always on duty. But not every protector stays still. Some appear only for a moment, and if you follow it, your life will never return to normal. In Celtic and Arthurian legend, there is a stag no hunter can truly catch, and if you see it, the hunt is no longer yours. You are the one being led. In Celtic belief, white animals are signs of the other world, the supernatural realm that exists alongside the human one. When an animal is described as white, sometimes with red ears, it's a clear signal in Celtic storytelling that it does not belong to the ordinary world. The white stag appears at the edges of forests and wilderness, places seen as natural thresholds between realms. Its color is not decorative. It marks the moment when the boundary between worlds has thinned. In Arthurian romances and older Celtic narrative patterns, kings and knights pursue the white stag, but the chase never ends in capture. Instead, the chase pulls them away from court and civilization into the wild, where they encounter enchantment, fey beings, trials, or revelations. The stag is not prey, it is a guide. Following it becomes a test of worthiness, especially for rulers and knights, and is often tied to themes of sovereignty and destiny. In these stories, seeing the white stag is not a random sighting. It signals that someone is about to be drawn into an event that will change their path, a quest, a trial, or a revelation that cannot happen within the safety of familiar lands. In myth, the white stag exists to lead chosen figures from the known world into the supernatural, where fate, kingship, or personal transformation is decided. Yet some creatures don't lead you away from the world. They appear only when the world itself is perfectly in order. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Now, on to the next one. What if a single bird could appear and silently declare that heaven approves of how a kingdom is being ruled? The Fenghuang is often called the Chinese phoenix, but it is nothing like the Western bird of fire and rebirth. In early tradition, Feng and Huang were two birds, male and female, later spoken of as one sacred creature. Classical descriptions give it the head of a pheasant, the body of a mandarin duck, the tail of a peacock, the legs of a crane, and the beak of a swallow. Its feathers display 5 colors: black, white, red, green, and yellow, each tied to the 5 constant virtues of Confucian thought: benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and sincerity. The Fenghuang is not a sign for individuals, it is a sign for the entire realm. Tradition holds that it appears only in times of peace and prosperity, under a virtuous and enlightened ruler, when heaven is satisfied with the state of the world. To see it is to know that society is aligned with the proper order between heaven and earth. Over time, the Fenghuang became associated with the empress, while the dragon symbolized the emperor. It represents grace, virtue, and civil harmony, not dominance or force. The Fenghuang does not rule, fight, or judge. It simply reflects the moral quality of the age in which it appears. But harmony on a grand scale is one thing. Seeing a sign that greatness is about to enter the world is something far more personal. What if seeing a single creature meant you were living in an age so just, so virtuous, that heaven itself approved of your world? In Chinese tradition, that sign is the Qilin. Early texts describe the Qilin as a gentle-hooved, chimera-like animal, often with the body of a deer or horse, the tail of an ox, scales like a dragon, and a head that may carry 1 or 2 horns. Despite its unusual form, the Qilin is defined by extreme gentleness. It is said to walk so carefully that it does not trample grass or harm insects. Even its name reflects harmony: Qi, male, and Lin, female, symbolizing balance within the creature itself. The Qilin is not a guardian and not a fighter. It is an omen of the highest order. Tradition holds that it appears only during the reign of a wise and benevolent ruler, or in connection with the life of a great sage. Later lore says a Qilin appeared before the birth of Confucius, marking the importance of his life. For ordinary people, seeing a Qilin meant something extraordinary. Their society was living in a time of peace, justice, and moral order under heaven's approval. In Chinese belief, the Qilin is counted among the 4 benevolent creatures, alongside the dragon, the Fenghuang, and the tortoise. Its purpose is not to intervene in events, but to signal that events are already aligned with virtue. The Qilin does not change the world. Its appearance is the message that the world is being governed correctly. Still, not every omen is about virtue or destiny. Some are welcomed for a much simpler reason. They bring fortune wherever they go. What if a mythical beast was believed to feed only on treasure, and wherever it appeared, wealth and protection followed? In Chinese tradition, that creature was not feared. It was welcomed, displayed, and honored as a symbol of prosperity and defense against misfortune. Pishu, also called Piao, is recorded in early texts like the classic of Mountains and Seas, Shan Hai Jing. Originally, Pi and Shu were 2 separate fierce beasts, but over time they merged in folklore into a single legendary guardian. Pishu was never considered a god nor a servant of heaven, but a powerful, auspicious creature believed to ward off evil while drawing in wealth and good fortune. Pishu is traditionally depicted as a winged, lion-like body with the head of a dragon, sharp teeth, and a fierce expression. A key detail is its horns, which define its 2 forms, Tian Lu with 1 horn, associated with attracting wealth, and Bi Shi with 2 horns, associated with repelling evil spirits. These distinctions became especially important in later artistic tradition and Feng Shui symbolism, and remain consistent in statues and carvings today. People value Pishu because it is believed to pull wealth toward its owner while preventing financial loss and guarding against negative influences. Over centuries, particularly through Feng Shui practice, Pishu became a common presence in homes, businesses, and worn as charms for prosperity and protection. Its role is clear: an auspicious guardian beast that continuously gathers fortune while keeping harmful forces away. But wealth means little without survival, and some beings don't just guard fortune, they control the forces that keep entire lands alive. What if the clouds, the rivers, and the rain all answered to a single sacred being? In Chinese tradition, that being is the Long, dragon, unlike anything in Western legend. It is not a monster to be slain, but a benevolent force tied directly to water, weather, and survival itself. The Long governs rain, rivers, lakes, and seas, and its favor means fertile land and abundant harvests. In an agricultural civilization where rainfall meant life, the dragon became a symbol of blessing, prosperity, and heavenly authority. Emperors even identified with the dragon to show they ruled under the mandate of heaven. Ancient descriptions portray the Long as a composite creature: horns of a deer, head of a camel, eyes of a rabbit, neck of a snake, belly of the mirage creature, scales of a carp, claws of an eagle, and palms of a tiger. Its long serpentine body moves through the sky like water through clouds. Dragons were believed to dwell in rivers and seas, rising to the heavens when storms gathered. The dragon kings were said to rule the 4 seas, and in times of drought, people prayed and made offerings to them for life-giving rain. To witness signs of a dragon was to expect relief, renewal, and prosperity for the land. The Long's role is not to bless individuals, but to ensure the natural world functions as it should, sustaining entire communities through the balance of sky and earth. Yet blessings for everyone are different from a sign meant for one person alone, a sign that the gods themselves are watching you. What if seeing a creature in the sky didn't mean danger, but destiny? In Greek mythology, there was one being whose appearance wasn't a warning of doom, but a sign that the gods themselves had chosen you for greatness. Pegasus is the legendary winged horse of Greek myth, born from the blood of Medusa when Perseus beheaded her. As her blood touched the earth, Pegasus sprang forth alongside his brother Chrysaor. His name is often linked to the Greek word pege, meaning spring or fountain, because wherever Pegasus struck the ground with his hoof, sacred springs would burst forth, most famously the Hippocrene on Mount Helicon, a source said to inspire poets. He is usually described as a pure white horse with immense feathered wings, powerful yet graceful, able to soar through the heavens as easily as he runs across the earth. Seeing Pegasus was believed to be a sign of divine favor and rare opportunity. This was not a creature that appeared randomly in the skies. Its presence meant the gods were watching and that the person witnessing it stood at the edge of something extraordinary. To see Pegasus meant inspiration, protection, and the chance to rise above ordinary limits. For a mortal, witnessing Pegasus was an omen that greatness, guidance, and even poetic or heroic destiny were within reach if one had the courage to pursue it. He went on to serve Zeus by carrying thunder and lightning, and was eventually placed in the sky as the constellation Pegasus. This elevated him from a heroic companion to a symbol of the connection between the mortal world and the divine realm. He became a lasting emblem of inspiration, heroism, and the thin line between ambition and hubris. But not all help arrives when you're awake. Some come only in the dark, when fear is at its strongest. What if, after a nightmare, you could whisper a creature's name and it would come to eat the dream that terrified you? In Japanese folklore, that creature is the Baku, a supernatural being believed to devour nightmares. Its origins trace back to Chinese tradition, where it was described as a strange chimera, later absorbed into Japanese belief. The Baku's form is a composite of animals: the trunk of an elephant, the eyes of a rhinoceros, the tail of an ox, and the paws of a tiger. It wasn't meant to resemble any real creature, but a being strange enough to consume something as intangible as a dream. By the Edo period, this belief became part of everyday life. Children were taught that if they woke from a frightening dream, they could say, "Baku, come eat my dream." People even placed images of the Baku near their beds or on pillows as protective charms, trusting that the creature would prevent nightmares from returning. But folklore adds a quiet warning. The Baku should not be called too often. If it finishes devouring all your nightmares, it may still be hungry and begin to consume your dreams as well. Its role was precise: a devourer of bad dreams, invoked only after terror and respected as a charm that could protect or take more than intended. And then there is one creature whose presence means something even greater than comfort. It means wisdom, healing, and help have already arrived. What if the sight of a single ancient bird meant that wisdom, healing, and protection were already on their way? In Persian epic tradition, there is one creature whose appearance is never accidental. It comes only when guidance is truly needed. The Simurgh is a vast, majestic bird from Persian mythology, portrayed as immensely old, intelligent, and benevolent. In the earliest Iranian tradition, Avestan texts, it appears as Sena, a great mythical bird linked to a sacred tree. Later Persian literature and art, especially in the medieval period, depict the Simurgh with peacock-like plumage, powerful lion-like claws, and sometimes features reminiscent of a dog's head. These hybrid traits belong to later imagery, but the core idea never changes: an enormous, wise bird whose presence radiates age, authority, and calm. To encounter the Simurgh was considered an extraordinary blessing because it intervenes only to help. In the Shahnameh, Book of Kings, the Simurgh rescues the abandoned infant Zal, raises him with care and wisdom, and gives him a feather to burn if he ever needs aid. Years later, when Zal's wife struggles to give birth to Rostam, burning the feather summons the Simurgh, who teaches him how to safely deliver the child. Its help is practical, life-saving, and compassionate. Seeing it meant protection, knowledge, and healing were close at hand. In Iranian cosmology, the Simurgh is associated with the Tree of All Seeds, a mythical tree containing the seeds of every plant, linking the bird to life, renewal, and the natural order. Its role is not to rule or destroy, but to preserve, guide, and restore balance, a bridge between the human world and a higher sacred order, appearing when people are lost and in need of help.